Yeah. You know what it is. It's Seed Talk, stuff to make your seeds walk. I got a special guest, my man, Jay Hill. You know, he's in the house. We got a little topic, switch it up a little bit and do some hip hop topics today. We're gonna discuss is hip hop dead or not. Um, but I want to first tell y'all, man, to share this, video, comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel out there on YouTube and whatnot. Subscribe to my page and whatnot, and check my man out, Jay Hill. He gonna tell you how to get a hold of him and whatnot. But also y'all can donate to Seed Talk. You know what I'm saying? Logic God Man, dollar sign at Cash App, and then Venmo is at Logic God Man. But I just wanted to get into this conversation, man, and just tell him where you from. Me and his brother been social media friends for a while, man. It's good to actually be on the show together. But why don't you tell him
Yeah.
a little bit of your story, man? Where you from, man?
Yeah, man. My name's Jonathan. I'm from Atlanta. Born and raised there. I was about 17. Went to college in Arizona. Went to U of A. Ended up dropping out of U of A, but I stayed in school. Eventually graduated for audio engineering. I did some audio work in St. Louis. Ended up moving to Denver and working, and got an opportunity out here in California with my brother to help him on his business ventures out here. So that's what I do now. And
Yeah, that's what's up.
still do audio engineering on and off. So anybody ever need anything mixed or recorded, holler at me. Like I said, I have my info. I'm on IG, the real J Hill 6, and Facebook, Jonathan Hill.
So you what you mixing on engineering on Pro Tools or Logic or what?
Yeah, I'm certified on Pro Tools, and I'm very familiar with Logic also. So those are my two go tos. I've used Fruity Loops in the past, but not lately. Even though it's definitely a good program, but yeah, Pro Tools is what I'm certified on.
Okay, that's good to know, man. Because I'm always looking at people to good people to mix down some of my music and whatnot. So
Oh yeah,
we'll put it in the messages how to get a hold of you, and what they can do is they can shoot you an email and stuff, and then y'all figure out how to transfer the files and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? To cap it out. But I know there's a lot of people out there who do hip hop and need quality mixes.
oh
So
yeah,
speaking of, yeah, man. So speaking on hip hop, man, it started a conversation, man, that I had online on my page, and I was just seeing a lot of people saying hip hop is dead, like it's just dead, and they're referencing a lot of what they call like what sex worker music, you know what I'm saying, stuff like Sexy Red, and they reference that Sexy Red and Sukiana song, and she's talking about parts of her anatomy and whatnot, and they're just like they leave that as an example, or the mumble rap, you know what I'm saying, them doing that, and people just saying that the culture and the music is dead, and I just think that's crazy, and so I kind of put it out there, and I was just like, it's not that hip hop is dead. It's that the selection that y'all are choosing to go about is dead. You know what I'm saying? And there's plenty of music out there that's might not be in the mainstream, but there's music out there that ain't talking about all that stuff. That's uplifting. However, there's something out there. And
yeah,
so I just be like, because the last time I heard a lot of people talking about hip hop is dead is when the South was running stuff, and to a certain degree, the South and the Midwest is kind of running stuff right now with drill music and a lot of the down south music.
yeah,
But I thought it was kind of interesting, like back when the South was really, really heavy in these hip hop streets, people started saying hip hop is dead, and I felt like it comes down to like hip hop ain't really dead. You just don't like that type of music, so you want to say it's not hip hop.
yeah. I do think. Well, first of all, I don't think hip hop is dead. What I said to you on the topic was that I do think it's on life support. I think it's in danger, but it's not dead. I do think like it's a complex answer to that question because it's so many things that play into how we got here, right? Um, to start off, us as consumers do play a part in wherever hip hop stands. I think it was about 2015. I think that was years either 2015 or 2017, somewhere in that time, where hip hop became like the number one official commercially sold genre of music, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's proof of the strength of hip hop. Although we can't just measure it all by money, right? It's also by impact in our culture because it's our music, right? So that plays into it too. I think like with anything, when you're talking about the mainstream, you're not going to get the depth of that genre in the mainstream. Like that's not what the mainstream is. It's the common denominator. And this, I was having this conversation with my homeboy. With like to me, hip hop is like pizza. You can't order one pizza that everybody's gonna like, right? Like some people, everybody don't eat pepperoni. It's like some
Right.
people want a vegan pizza. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be a lot of that. But I think right now, what's really going on with hip hop is something that doesn't just affect hip hop, but we just see it in hip hop because that's what we're passionate about and it's our culture and our music. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's something that's taking place in every creative media right now, TV, movies included. It's just at that mainstream level, there's so much money being pumped into all these projects that these companies aren't willing to take risks. And in music, it shows up in labels or no for what I say at least what would you say like 2 decades now that labels are not putting money into developing artists, right? They're looking for who's popular. They're not even necessarily looking for who has talent. They're looking for who has a following that they can then monetize. You know what I'm saying? And that in itself isn't necessarily going to lead to us, the fans, and getting quality music that
Right.
everybody likes. And so, yeah, that shows up in the culture. I think the other part of it too is that nightclub culture is also dying. Because let's be real here, like you go into the club, what used to back in the day, you know, you could parlay like a $50 $100 night. You could easily run up like 3 bills in the club on a night. You know what I'm saying? If you really go in there with your people, like doing it, and that's nothing like for real. You know what I mean? Like you talk about parking and y'all paying cover, getting in, getting drinks and all that. You know, let alone we're not even getting to VIP territory. But that's the club is a staple of the hip hop culture as far as that's a gathering place. You know what I'm saying? And that's a venue where things are heard, like new music is heard and it gets to basically put on trial by fire. Like
You
if I'm
think so? You think the club? You think the clubs is going down?
for sure, bro, for
Hmm.
sure. At least out here where I'm at, I can't
Okay.
really speak everywhere, but definitely out here in California, it's not what it used to be, man,
But
at all.
people are staying. What are people doing? You know, what I'm saying to have a good time when listening to music. Then when it comes to staying at home.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, private turn up type shit going on. I mean, I went like the club isn't, it's not dead like defunct, but it's just like it's definitely the volume of people hitting the club every weekend is not what it used to be. I think part of it is people growing out of it or just getting new interests. I think part of it is COVID. When everything was shut down, there was no club to go to, so people were just used to not doing it anymore to that degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also
Yeah.
think it's because that excitement isn't there in hip hop, and that comes back to what I was saying about the music. Just everything at the mainstream level is so crowdsourced and fucking it's based off statistics and what's popular, what's trending. You know what I mean? Like there's no actual creativity. Well, I won't say none, but the creativity and authenticity is lacking, and that's what we getting now with like. And I don't want to necessarily like blame the artist per se. You know what I'm saying? Because I think like Sexy Red, for example, I think she was just a girl that was making music, and that shit just hit for her. For it was just like the perfect storm of where we at right now, and it took off for her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not necessarily like I don't look at anybody as an instrument of evil, or they sent here they're trying to uh corrupt the kids with this crazy music. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's more to it than that. You gotta remember, like, a big part of the kids and hip hop is parenting and supervision. Like,
Yeah.
these albums have warning labels for a reason. Like, kids aren't supposed to hear everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't meant. Like, Sexy Red wasn't in the studio recording for little girls. She was recorded for girls like her.
Yeah, and
You know
it's just a situation where parents expect other entities, saying, to do the parenting for them.
Yeah, just
And
like teachers. Like,
like,
they expect
yeah, yeah.
teachers
So
to.
it's like, if you're a parent and you're concerned about that, then you need to put it on a priority that you're gonna be, go against it.
Yeah, because
Period.
I'm gonna be real.
You can't just put that on someone else to do that. Well, I'm just gonna put it on the artist not to put the stuff out. No, you can't always do that. Well, I'm just gonna put it out on the censorship and the labels and and the record companies and what radio plays. No, you gotta control at the end of the day and manage what comes in and out of your child's life.
Right. And I would, and it's like I was saying with that point, we do the same thing with teachers. People want to hold teachers. We do it with athletes. I remember Charles Barkley with the commercial back in the day, "I'm not a role model," and people were upset with him for that. And he was basically saying, like, your kids shouldn't admire me more than they do you. Like, don't teach them that. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was a really profound message for him being who he is. You know what I mean? And that's Charles Barkley. Like, he's not the brightest dude around. He just says what he feels. Like,
Yeah,
he's honest. You know what I mean? But
let me ask you something real quick though, man, because we got to wrap it up in a little bit. But I just want, because I want to get to the meat of the conversation, man. Why you think hip hop is on life support? What's different about hip hop now than like in the beginning or like 10, 15 years ago?
It's not selling. We still don't have a #1 Billboard hip hop record this year.
But don't you think that's because just how music is being marketed right now? That people are not paying for money; they're just streaming it.
No, I think that's because the excitement's not there. You got to think about, like, when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? And, like, the projects are dropping from the artists that we care about. We were genuinely excited about that. Like, new J drop, we are genuinely excited. New Nas, Cass, Pop, whatever. Like, we were listening to everybody too. There's part of it too. Like, hip hop is crazy because it's global now, but it's still so regional as far as, like, it's dissected. Like, everybody pretty much rock with their region. They might listen to people here and there, but for the most part, they rock with their region. You know what I'm saying? And it's even stronger with that now. Whereas back in the day, like, people would rock with their region, but we still would listen to everything from everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I think it is? I think hip hop caught everybody so off guard, meaning like other genres and music lands, and then lanes, and they got so ahead of, the competition, that they had this huge head start, and no one ever thought they was going to have. And it's, we think that they're just going to keep that lead. No, it's just a matter of time where everyone's going to just slowly catching up to hip hop because it's getting some years behind it and it's not so new to us anymore. But that all comes down to the listener.
That's a great point.
Comes down to the listener, though.
I was actually watching a video about that. I was trying to pull it up on YouTube because there's actually a video that I wanted to send you that you can just watch whenever. I think it's a good video you'd be interested in on this topic. But basically, this guy, he was a younger guy. I think he said he was about 21 or 22 in the video. But he was just talking about going to concerts. Because honestly, I haven't been to a concert in about 2 years. Yeah, I went today in Vegas in 2021, and that was a great show. You know what I'm saying? But he was getting to the point that, like, these artists are coming to town for their shows. They want to charge their fans like $250, $300 for tickets, and then you get to the show and it's just like the artist showing up hours late. The performance is trash, to be honest with you, like lackluster, no energy.
That's what he's saying about hip hop.
yeah, this was what a young fan is saying. Like he's a guy that loves these artists. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like this somebody he's saying this is somebody who was genuinely hurt by some of his favorite artists. You know what I mean? And he was just saying like some of these rappers have gotten like full of themselves. Like bro, like your fans are who support you. You can't ask them to put up this kind of money and then you showing up hours late to the show or you walking out the show early because you feel like not enough people are rapping. You know, like they came to see you perform, not the other way around. You know what I mean? So that's part of it. And I don't think that's something that's just like exclusive to hip hop. I think
Yeah,
that's more of
I
an
was about to say
American
the same thing. I
cultural
think,
thing.
yeah.
But I think that plays into it too. I think another thing as far as the quality of hip hop and like the type of music that we're hearing is I think between somewhere in the 2000s, like something got lost in translation from the 90s era to where we are now. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's a lot of artists that hit the game not only with a lack of passion for the art form, like they're just coming in to make money. It is a business. I'm not gonna hold that against them, but that's what they coming in for. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. They don't have the passion to be creative or be artistic. And then on top of that, I do think there's an element of people performing what they think is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like what they've learned over time just through consuming hip hop through videos and albums, but not actually being in these places where the culture exists. I think there's a generation of those people that hit the game and that's what they do. They're doing what they think hip hop is, not understanding like hip hop is you have to be your authentic self. You know what I'm saying? There are characters in hip hop, but that's a person authentically being a character then at that point. Like they make that be known. This is a character, you know what I'm saying? Something kind of like Sleek Rick or something like that, you know what I mean? Or Mac Dre back in his day, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think capitalism is definitely taking a toll on hip hop for sure, you know. And I think that's where we at right now. But I don't think it's dead. I think it can definitely come back. It's just somebody with that talent and that passion is going to have to push the envelope.
I'm gonna put this man back on the industry to a large degree, man, because I think that, like I said, hip hop became so expansive so fast, caught everyone off guard. It really became a threat to the system. So that in the beginning, you know, saying hip hop with all its protests in it, you know, showing our talents, you know, the writing ability and all that. That's a threat to the system because a lot of stuff that we saying was very articulated, you know, revolutionary ideas in the beginning. So I felt
Yeah.
like they had to be like, hey man, we have this, there can't be a balance of like political stuff like Melly Mel started to the party stuff like Busy Bee or maybe the Fat Boys or something like that to something you know, with, you know, empowering ladies. Like it can't be balanced. We have to turn the table because and make it unbalanced. And anytime you're doing it, you're dealing with making anything with black folks unbalanced, you know, that's a part of like trying to divide, and then that's trying to, you know, because you're trying to conquer. And so
But it's
I think they had to go out. The point I'm trying to make, sorry, I think
no, you could.
they had to go out of their way and be totally intentional and make sure that the mainstream, the sex, money, and violence was overly magnified, you know, to you know, to dumb the music down. But
Mm-hmm.
the really good music was still being made, but they had all the resources to cover them up, you know, and make sure if they
Um,
made it big or not.
I mean, it's just like I do think. I mean, we're dealing with humans at the end of the day, so of course there's some element of that for sure. But I just know companies want to make money, dog. At the bottom line, and they're gonna do the least effort they have to put in to make as much money as possible. So if they want to sell us if they're gonna sell us drive-by music and we continue to buy it at a high level, then they're going to continue to pump that out. Like it's no different than McDonald's. It's just, but that's what I'm saying. Like that
Wait, I got an
responsibility
answer for that though, because now in the digital age, though, Jay, if people aren't buying as much, they have the resources and they have the management just to, put those bots
exactly.
in there and make the numbers go real high. So
That's what I'm saying. Like for me personally, I don't pay attention to streaming numbers. Like I don't judge what I'm going to listen to based off how popular it is. Because on the real, a lot of the shit I listen to, when I listen to it, isn't popular. Some of it becomes popular later, but it's generally not what everybody's listening to. And I'm not that dude that just, I just want to listen to what people ain't listening to. I just listen to what I like. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, on a mainstream level, I'm generally not their demographic they looking for. You know what I'm saying? So I don't trip off that. And I don't, like, that's what we have, like, I think so much with hip hop is people are just want to listen. Like, for example, Drake. I think a lot of Drake's popularity stems from the fact that people can be inclusive when they listen to Drake, because I know a lot of people listen to Drake. So it's like, oh, you listen to Drake too? All right, cool. We can be friends type shit. Like, but it's nothing he makes. Well, I won't say nothing, but I'm not looking at Drake's music for like depth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not putting it on him to expect him to make that kind of music. Obviously, he's been successful doing what he's doing. So why would I expect him to switch that up now? You know what I mean? That's kind of where we at with it. But I do think, like, as consumers of this, we have to take responsibility and just listen to what we like, man. And that's all you can really do. And we have to understand too, like, those numbers are also skewed from people who don't live in our culture that listen to rap. Because let's be honest, like, the majority of people that buy, especially like hood music that buy it, they're not black. You know what I'm saying? We talk about like suburban white kids. You know what I mean? They're the ones that pump those numbers up. Because most dudes that live in that culture, they getting the mixtape from the dude in the hood anyway. They got them on deck. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to buy it, and it ain't like they don't support the artists. They still go out and buy other things and go to shows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But DJ Drama era, we was all bumping Gangsta Grills because we knew that was better than the album.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So hip hop, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's on life support as far as like the commercial mainstream aspect, but as long as we still control the cultural part of it, it won't go anywhere. It'll be fine.
Yeah, this
And
is the
I
last.
think like every part, every subgenre of hip hop doesn't need to be mainstream to survive or be successful. Nor do I think it should. Like, I don't think, like, for example, a dude like King Von, I don't think he should be mainstream, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I do recognize like his music has a right to exist, like that kind of music. You
He's
know what
got
I'm
a
saying?
fan base.
I leave them dudes to get their creativity off on the mic, and I hope they make money because I'd rather them be doing that than what they was doing before they tried
Yeah,
to rap.
absolutely. Last question for you, man. Before we wrap up, what would it take for hip hop, in your opinion, to get off of life support? What needs to happen with the art form?
We just got to take back ownership of our art, or else it'll go the way of rock and roll and everything else that we created before it.
What does that look like? Like, what does that look like? Artists, just getting together, and putting their money together and coming out with songs to change, what I'm saying, the collabing and changing, what the streams look like, or what does that look like? Doing a lot more group songs, bringing everyone together, like on some self-destruction type stuff.
No, it's just we all participants in this thing, and like the artists, their responsibility is to make good music, right? Our responsibility as fans is to listen to what we like, but it's also to be educated about what we listening to. Like, one thing we got to get away from, like, for real, is you don't have to live your life by what you listen to, man. Like, it doesn't have to be you know what I'm saying, the fiber of your being because you listen to whoever, you know, like you can listen to somebody and still be who you are as a person. You don't have to take on the characteristics of the last Future album or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just said Future because I listen to Future all the time, but I don't move like Future. You know what I'm saying? But I can recognize the sonic quality in his music. Like he has great production. He's a talented songwriter. I give him his props. But at the end of the day, I don't have to go out and have 12 baby mamas after that. You know what I'm saying? I live my life how I'm going to live it. You know what I mean? And that ain't
Yeah.
no knock on dudes that do that, but that's not how I move, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I want to do a part two where you come back and I got some other stuff I wanted to ask you about specific artists in general. When you talk about the quality of music, I wanted to, because there's a little list of people that have been said to bringing down the quality of hip hop music. I want to see what you think about them.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm down
yeah,
for that, definitely.
yeah, yeah. But it's been C Talk. My man Jay Hill's been here. Like I said, can you please share and comment on this? And I'm subscribed to the C Talk, channel on YouTube so it can grow bigger. Go ahead and donate if you feel it in your hearts to do so. Cash App, $ I'm in Venmo. And when this comes out, man, we can put my man Jay Hill's information there in case you want to make a monetary donation to him. We'll put it in the actual chat. We out. It's been